You can be useful.
Yeah?
Fine, stand behind me.
Look, Chad, we had to put you on this list out of principle, but don't get twisted about it. You're far from being one of the most powerful AKs in Oregon. Well, you could be if you wanted to, but you're sort of a scaredy cat, and that's okay. To each their own. We would cower in front of Audrey too if she were our girlfriend. But all jokes aside, we think you have potential, Chad, and we really hope you find your mother Cinderella's courage somewhere down the line. Our favorite characters from the Descendants franchise have got some wicked cool powers, and we're about to rank them from weakest to strongest. Keep watching to find out which unexpected AK made it into the top 5. You'll never see it coming. Chad Charming. It should come as no surprise that Chad Charming is considered one of the weakest AKs in Oregon. Chad's parents are Cinderella and Prince Charming, both of whom have zero powers to account for. But we wouldn't exactly call Chad powerless. Sure, he gives cowards a bad name, but he sure knows how to use his charm to get what he wants. It's easy to see that Chad likes getting his way. He turned on Evie in the first Descendants film when she couldn't complete his homework, and he nearly got her expelled. Chad has some serious manipulation skills, and he's not afraid to put them to good use. Problem is, he's afraid of everything that goes bump in the night. Doug.
Makes our movie night seem a little tame.
I love movies.
Doug may not be the most powerful AK, but what he lacks in strength, he makes up for in courage. If there's one thing that keeps Doug going, it's the thought of losing Evie. Doug would climb the tallest mountain and rescue Evie from a tower guarded by a dragon if it came down to it. Doug is the son of Dopey, who doesn't have any magical powers of his own. However, he does have a very good work ethic that he passed down to Doug. Doug may come off as nervous and nerdy, but don't let that guy fool you. There's a huge brain cooking up a master plan beneath that shako on his head. Dizzy Tremaine. Dizzy Tremaine may be physically weaker than Doug and her step-cousin Chad, but she grew up on the Isle of the Lost, which makes her 3 times as tough. Dizzy is the daughter of Drizella Tremaine, who doesn't have any powers of her own. Unless you count complaining, of course. Dizzy was raised by her grandmother, Lady Tremaine, who made sure that she was a hard worker from the get-go. Dizzy is brave and selfless, which are 2 qualities every hero has in the bag. But when it comes to Dizzy's natural-born abilities, we'd have to say she's got the power of style. The young VK is also super resourceful, which came in handy when Dizzy gave Evie and Mal the tools to make smoke bombs in Descendants 2. Audrey. Audrey may have been the big bad of Descendants 3, but that doesn't make her the most powerful AK in Oregon. After all, Audrey's powers came from Maleficent's staff and were not of her own design. Without the staff, Audrey is just a princess with a big personality.
You're new here, aren't you? I'm Audrey. Princess Audrey?
Just like Chad, Audrey knows exactly what to say to manipulate people. And although it isn't the best power, it gets the job done. Before the VKs came to Oregon, Audrey was running the show, which just goes to show how powerful she can be without using a lick of magic. Audrey may not have magical abilities running through her veins, but she's still a dangerous person. She'll do just about anything to get what she thinks she deserves. King Ben. King Ben showed us just how strong he could be in Descendants 3 when he turned into a beast. But then again, that was Audrey's doing, not his own. As it turns out, the King of Oregon doesn't actually come from a magical bloodline, so he doesn't have any powers whatsoever, unless you count diplomacy. But the fact that Ben has no powers doesn't make him powerless. He's a skilled athlete who knows how to use a sword, and he knows how to drive a car, which can come in handy when a quick getaway is afoot. But most importantly, Ben is brave and wants to help others, making him a total hero. Lonnie. Lonnie isn't someone you want to underestimate because she'll come back swinging like there's no tomorrow. She's the daughter of Mulan and Li Shang, so clearly she knows how to use a sword. Lonnie is one of the most open-minded AKs in Oregon. She helped the Core 4 save King Ben from the Isle in Descendants 2, proving how much of a team player she can be. Lonnie is trained in martial arts and has the heart of a true hero. On top of being a skilled fighter, Lonnie is also super smart and has proven time and time again that she's a leader, not a follower. Harry Hook.
Well. What a nice surprise.
Harry Hook suffers from VK syndrome, which basically means that he wants to make his father proud above all else. This has led Harry to develop a super cynical and evil personality, but clearly Harry Hook isn't who he pretends to be. After all, why would an evil person help the core force save Auradon? Harry doesn't have any magical abilities, but he is a skilled swordsman, fighter, and thief. Harry also possesses a knack for intimidation. Just like his dad, Captain Hook, Harry is a pirate through and through. He's a master navigator who always has a sharp hook handy. Gil may be a part of Uma's pirate gang, but the boy doesn't have a mean bone in his body. You might find it surprising that Gil is more powerful than Harry, but in the end, Gil has brute strength on his side. Gil is the son of Gaston, who doesn't have any magical abilities. But despite inheriting his father's denseness, Gil also inherited an extreme strength. Just like Harry, Gil is a skilled swordsman and pirate. His biggest downfall is that he's a follower and not a leader, making him the perfect henchman. But deep down, Gil would rather fight alongside heroes than villains. Jay may be the son of Jafar, but he doesn't possess many of his powers. Apparently, sorcery and divination skip a generation, but Jay has still managed to become one of the strongest VKs from the Isle. Jay is super strong and possesses the ability to do parkour, which makes catching him comparable to finding a needle in a haystack. Jay is a skilled fighter and an athlete who knows how to steal your wallet by shaking your hand. Despite being raised by Jafar, Jay loves Auradon and everything it stands for. He risked his life to save others on more than one occasion, making him brave and selfless, which are two strengths money can't buy. Evie. Sorry, Doug, but your girl Evie is so much stronger than you'll ever be. Not that you mind, of course. You support her no matter what. Evie might not seem like a super powerful lady when standing next to Mal, but she has more than a few tricks up her sleeve. Evie is the daughter of the Evil Queen, so she was born with magical abilities. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't tap into them while living on the Isle. However, Evie can cast some super strong spells. She's also a skilled fighter who knows how to use a sword. She leads by example, is super intelligent, and of course she's got a very powerful fashion influence. Now let's find out which Descendants made it into the top 5. Jane. You might be surprised to find out that the sweet and innocent Jane made it into the list of the top 5 most powerful Descendants. But it's wise to remember that Jane is the daughter of the all-powerful fairy godmother. You know, the one responsible for trapping every single villain on the Isle of the Lost. Jane is super intelligent, organized, and helpful. Without her, King Ben would have been trapped as a beast for a super long time. Jane possesses the same powers as her mother, however she was raised to fear magic, which is why her skills aren't as developed. Jane tried to use her mom's wand in the first Descendants film, only to succeed in blowing a hole in the barrier. So yeah, Jane needs to work on her skills, but she's powerful nonetheless. Carlos DeVille. Carlos and his girlfriend Jane have both made it into the top 5, making them the most powerful Descendants couple of all time. Carlos possesses the ability to cast spells and manipulate magic, which is strange since his mother Cruella isn't magical whatsoever. So Carlos probably got these skills from his dad's side of the family. Carlos is a tech prodigy who is always one step ahead of everyone else. He's skilled in combat, knows how to drive, and is one of the smartest people in Auradon. This friendly, brave animal lover may have grown up terrified on the Isle, but he's not scared anymore. Now that the lovebirds are out of the way, let's find out who made it into the top 3. Celia Facilier. Celia Facilier is by far one of the strongest VKs on the Isle. Sure, she can't defend herself physically, but what she lacks in strength she makes up for in wickedness. Just like her father, Dr. Facilier, Celia can shape, create, and manipulate darkness and shadows. She also got some friends on the other side who know how to pick a fight.
I got friends on the other side.
I hear you.
Celia is smart, resourceful, and manipulative. She has her own deck of shadow cards that she can use to warp the future. Celia has only begun to tap into these powers. By the time she graduates from Auradon Prep, she'll be the strongest fortune teller in all the lands. Uma. Our runner-up for the title of the strongest Descendants is none other than Uma. She's the daughter of Ursula, and she's not afraid to show it. Just like her mom, Uma can wield sea magic with the help of her seashell necklace. She can even cast spells straight out of Mal's spellbook. As shown at the end of Descendants 2, Uma can transform herself into a huge cicala. On top of being magically gifted, Uma is a skilled fighter, a leader, and an expert navigator. Despite coming off as a villain in Descendants 2,
The Isle is my home. Someone needs to be there to protect it.
Uma is a total hero. Mal. Surprise, surprise, the strongest Descendants is Mal, daughter of Hades and Maleficent. Both Mal's parents are known for their immense powers and wrath. It wasn't until D3 that we found out that Mal is a demigod, which is why she blows Uma's powers out of the water. Mal can transform into a fire-breathing dragon, and she's amazing at casting spells and brewing potions. Mal's got some amazing dexterity too. She can hold a sword as easily as she holds a paintbrush. Mal puts all of her friends' powers to shame, but luckily for them, she's a queen, not a villain. If you could possess powers of your own, which ones would you choose and why? Sound off in the comments. And that's a wrap. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on The Things.